Okay, this is an instructional video on how to sew a basic beginner sewing project, some initial pillows. And first thing I'm going to show you some basic tools that we use in sewing projects. You're going to need some pins. I use a ruler. Here is a seam ripper in case you make some mistakes. Another smaller ruler, a tape measure, tracing wheel, your thread for the sewing machine, and a basic pair of scissors. And first, what I want to talk to you about is your fabric. In beginning sewing projects, it's best to start with a fabric that's a high cotton content or cotton polyester mix. Something that you don't have to do a lot of care for. For sure, don't use a fabric that needs to be dry cleaned or something, or that has a bunch of bells and whistles on it, fuzzies and things like that. You need something plain. And then your pattern piece is what you're going to use to cut the fabric out with. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is that pattern pieces, and this one was remade off the original piece, but they normally have a line running the direction, and this is called the grain. You want to put this on grain. And the way that you do that is when you go to put your pattern onto your fabric, you want to measure from one end of the line to the fold, right over here. And then you go across to the other end of the line, and it should be the same. And this one's not, so I'm going to move it down a little bit. And this helps you place your fabric on grain. Okay, one thing I forgot also to talk about the fabric, let me back up a little bit, is you always need to rinse your fabric and dry it before. That way, if they have any dyes that's going to run or any finishes that's going to come out when it's washed, you want to do it before, because you can skew your product and it can look different than what you planned if you don't wash and dry it or rinse and dry it beforehand. Okay, once you know, back to putting your pattern piece on grain, once you know you have it in place, you want to pin, but you want to place your pins in such a direction that you don't cut and don't have the heads of the pins in the way. Now, if you're pinning to sew, you're going to come from this direction, okay? And that's so you can easily pull it out while you're sewing. But if you're pinning to cut, you want to pin from the inside, go just to the edge of the pattern and stop. You don't want to go past the edge because, of course, your scissors will hit it, or you'll have to take the time and pull it back. So just go ahead and pin just to the edge of the fabric. Okay. Now, this particular pattern piece has the darts missing, and those darts should have been. Darts are normally in a straight place. And the reason for the darts in this particular pattern is they want you to stop sewing, at a certain place. And only because I know that this one's been around a lot. If that happens to you, you can cut the darts in instead of out. Whoever cut this particular piece out forgot to cut their darts. They cut their darts off. But because I've done this so many times, I know where the darts are. So I'm going to cut them in. Okay, and so when I go to pin this particular piece, because I know there's supposed to be a dart there, I'm probably going to leave my needle sticking out. Because when I cut around here, I want to cut in a dart. Okay, and that dart is just, again, it's to tell me, where to stop and where to start when I'm sewing. Okay, so you pin the piece all the way around, you pinned it down, and then you're going to cut it out. And this is on a double fold of fabric. And I'm going to have to back up, I forgot something else. When you're sewing, you need to make up your mind whether or not you're going to want your rights together or your wrong sides together. Okay? You can tell that this is the right side of the fabric because it's very vibrant and colorful. This is the wrong side of the fabric. It's muted and shaded. And it doesn't matter which way. You can put right sides together or like I have, or it could be wrong sides together.